pallet like this that's well protected, so when it gets shipped to your place, you'll have this. There is a core deposit on this, so I might as well say this so we don't put this in our landfill. So what we're going to do first is get this box open. So again, make sure that you get your safety glasses on. And we're going to use some power tools and get this started. Okay guys, so we got this thing opened up. As you can see, when you open this package up, it's all well packaged. You're going to have the owner's manual on top with a list of some items that are in this box. What we're going to do is take this manual first, and obviously we're having a video, as I know most guys don't like to read. But if you could peruse this first before you watch the video or after, at least the concept will make sense. So we're going to go ahead and start unpacking this thing, so we'll be right back to you. Okay guys, we got everything out of the package right now. And like I told you, when you open up the box, there's going to be a manual and a list of what's supposed to be in there. So if you want to go ahead and, I'm going to have the camera guy come over here and zoom in on these two things. You will see that there's a list of supplies that should have come in the box that I've already compared. So you can see the manual and this list. So zoom into that white one real quick and kind of show that. Okay, one thing that's the most probably important thing that you're not going to know what they are is all the bolts. So all the hardware is going to come labeled with what it is, with the part number, and where it goes. Those are the ones I want to make sure that you for sure have, because if you get halfway into this table, you don't want to be missing a bolt or two. They should all be labeled with the quantity. So just make sure that you double check and see each one of those. Okay guys, step one is going to be when you open up the package, you had 4 heavy duty legs that were that had 4 little holes cut at the bottom that we're going to stand up with the slit on the side. So that's going to be the bottom. There's going to be the 8 leg levelers and the nuts and bolts that are labeled. We're going to install those right now. I'm going to come back and show you how we put one on, and then we're going to have you guys install all 8 of them to continue. Okay guys, what we're going to do now is install the leg levelers. I put one on the inside. If you take this, the adjusting knob, move it up so it's on top of this zinc finish, so it's going to be flute, and lock it into there. We can adjust it after. We're not sure what your floor looks like, but you're going to take these Allen head screws, put them through the bolt, and then obviously put the nuts on, and we're going to get them all put together real quick, and we'll tighten these up, and then we'll come back and go to the next step. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is grab the black end mounts. There's 4 of them, 3 look alike. One has 2 tabs on it. That's the one we're going to grab first. So that's going to be the one that we're going to do the install on the legs in just 1 minute. We'll be right back. Alright guys, so now we're going to do the end mounts with the legs. This is where it does help if you have a helper to hold this up. If you choose to want to do this upside down, you can, because everything will be laying flat on the ground. But on these end mounts, there's one that looks different than the other 3. They have 2 tabs. And there's also the bolts that you're going to, table mount bolts and end mount bolts. One's a little bit longer. The ones that are longer are going to go through these 1/4 inch thick plate end mounts. So we're going to go ahead and get this put on, and then we'll come right back to you. Oh, no. All right guys, so we put all the 4 legs on with the side rails and the end mounts. And you can kind of see, I'm just going to walk around this thing. Everything is put together but not tightened. So you can see how it's, and make sure wherever these end bolts are here, this is where your rails are going to run. So see this tab, that's where the rail sits. So make sure this is the time where it's light that you would want to get that completed. So in a minute we're going to get the rails put on, and then we'll come back and show you how that goes. Okay, so now it's a little misleading in the instructions, but we want to get the control box. We're going to take the lid off. Let's just put this on end and get the bolts through, and just put a nut on it to hold the bolt is all we're doing. Don't install it to the table right now, or you'll end up having to take it off after you put the sides on. So let's just put this on there so we have the bolts in place, and then in a minute we'll come right back and we'll show you how the sides go on.
Right.
Okay, so the next thing we're going to be doing is the sides. There's 2 different sides. There's 3 orange sides and 1 gray side. 2 tall and 2 short with the flashes cut out of them.
We'll show you the first time.
The ones with the flashes, the short side are going to be where your control panels are going to go.
I know, right?
So you can put them on anywhere you want. If you like to put the long ones on first on the back, the gray one has the LED light that lights up and show where you want that. Also the opposite. So go ahead and install the side panels. Remember, all the bolts in these don't have anything up ours, and we'll get back to you when we get ours installed. Okay, so now we got all the 4 sides put on, all the 3 orange and the 1 gray. We've left 1 bolt out to the side panel where the control panel goes. This very bottom bolt we've left out because that's where the control panel is going to get hooked up. So again, leave that one out, and now we're going to go ahead and have the controller installed. So we'll put that on with the 2 bolts, and again, any extra help you can, it sure makes it easier to move nuts and bolts if you have 2 people. So we'll get back to you in just 1 second. Okay, so go ahead, and now we're going to go ahead and put this laptop mount on. As you can see, we just hand tighten it, and this has a screw that goes under here that comes in the mounting kit. Just put that on for now, and we're going to leave that right now and go to the next step. So just leave everything else in the box. Alright guys, now it's the time that we're going to go ahead and tighten everything down. So if you would just do corner to corner measurement, just to make sure that you're square before we tighten it down. We're going to double check it when we're done. It should all square right back up. Just want to make sure we're pretty close. So just get a tape measurement, just go corner to corner, and we can just do both sides. And these are a 1/16 of an inch off, so I think we'll be good to go once we tighten it. So we'll get everything tight and come right back. Okay, so now we're going to do the water pan. We're going to lay one by itself, and the next one we're going to do is we're going to pick this one up. We're going to have to put these 2 at an angle. This is where you put the silicone in for demonstration purposes. We're not silicone in it. But when you get the next one in, it's going to be at a TP. That's where we're going to put the silicone before you bolt everything together. So we'll get the other piece over here to show you how the TP looks, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so we're going to pick this up to show up that this is where the TP is going to come into effect. And this is where you would end up siliconing both sides of this table really well, around each hole, all the way down each seal. So when you put this back together, there's a seal, and we'll run a bead of silicone on the top to completely seal it off. So we're going to go ahead and act like there's silicone in here, and then you're going to end up putting 1 bolt through the center. And just, now let it just good. Now we're going to squeeze it down. Okay guys, so now we've ended up tightening up all the bolts. And you can see the water pan is completely installed. We're going to go ahead and put the drain in now. You can see there's one on here. There'll be one on both sides. We're just going to show you how to install the one. Okay, so this drain's pretty straightforward. Just pull the drain, the valve part out. Undo this. There's a big gasket that goes on the inside. This is left-handed thread, so just tighten it up as you would, and then install the on and off valve. Get there. Okay, so back when we were putting the sides on, one of the short sides with the torch emblem, we're going to go ahead and put the cable chain bracket on. And it's going to take 2 bolts. So instead of doing it twice before when you put it in the top mount, so we're going to go ahead and get that installed. Okay guys, now we're ready to do the side rails. Those are going to take the side rail bolts, which are a little shorter, with the standard nut that it takes. So again, having some help makes this work a little easier. You can see the track rail goes on the inside, and then in these brackets, these end brackets, there's holes in them so you can get to the nuts. So if you put down so we're going to get one put in there. We're going to go ahead and finish this up, but we're going to go ahead and get one nut put on. And this is a little tricky, but you guys can do it. Okay guys, we're back, and now we got the side rails still on, so now we're going to put the X and the Y gantries on. So you're going to have to take these bearings off. They're loose. Just pop these off real quick and we're going to fit it over the rails. Remember how they go on. Then we're going to take off the motor too. So the motor has 4 screws. Just go ahead and pull that off. Set that aside. There we go. So now we're going to go ahead and install the motor back in so the gears are against the track, and we'll put the other bearings in. We'll come right back to show you both sides complete. Okay, so here we go. We're going to put the gantry on now. We got both the motors put back on. We've tightened up all the bearings now. We've adjusted the motor back so it's snug and it will run freely. We can put the gantry on with the 4 gantry bolts. Push it to the back of the table, the smooth side towards the front, the gear rack towards the back. We use the back 2 holes, install the 4 gantry bolts. Go ahead and get those snugged up, and then we'll come back and we'll go to the next step. Okay, so the next step, we've got the gantry on. Now we're going to take the motor covers. You'll see there's a tab, a notch cut out at the top. That goes on top for the wire to come out. And there's 2 tabs that are pre-cut. When you slide these on, you're going to bend those on the back and put on your motor cover bolts, one in each back. So we'll get those put on, and we'll go to the next step. Okay, so now we're going to put the X and the Z axis on. Still take the bearings off like we did before, and we're going to remove the motor in order for it to slide over the gantry wheels. Once we slide it over, then we'll install the bearings, install the motor back. So we're going to go ahead and get that done, and then we'll show you the next step. Okay, so now we've got the motor on, we've got the X axis, it moves freely. Now we need the real cable chain. It's just 2 simple bolts, it won't take a second to put on. And it goes on the last 2 holes on the gantry itself. So we're going to go get that installed, and then we'll put the cable chain on. Okay, so now we're doing the cable holders. And you're going to see how they bend one way, so this is going to go down, and you want to make sure that when you put it on, that it can bend this way, because the other one's going to be on top to the motor. There's 4 screws that come in here. Remember, these are plastic, so take these out. You probably don't want to use your power tool. You probably want to hand tighten these to the bracket. Again, we're going to go ahead and get this all put together, and we'll be right back at it. Okay, so now we have obviously we have our cable bracket to be on, or the actual holder of the cables. There's a bracket that goes on the gantry, and you want to go closest to this end. There's 2 brackets in the package, one for the side rail and one for the top rail. This top rail looks like this. There's 2 little spacers, so we're going to put those in, and those will just screw right down. And then we're going to attach the other 4. Let me get this one started. Okay, and then we'll tighten that up. Then we're going to attach these. There's 4 more bolts here. We're going to pull these out of the plastic, and this will get attached to this side. So again, when we get that done, we'll be right back. Okay, so we have one more cable bracket. We've got our first cable bracket on it. Our second cable bracket looks like this. You might as well put it on now while the track is off. And it's going to go up. Make sure that it pins up to the back of the cable. This is going to get laid down on this end. And there's a bracket right here that we're going to install this bracket. Before we do that, we will run all the cables through this and through the hole. I just wanted to show you how the bracket is, so next time you see it, the cable will be running through down to the controller. Okay, so we've got everything pretty much done right now. We've installed our slats, but prior to that, we put our cable covers on. We had all of our cables run. It would be best, if you look at the back of the book, it talks about the X, Y, and Z axis. If you label those with a piece of tape before you do that, just make it easier when you go plug it in. If you don't, we're going to be plugging this in just a minute. We're just going to have to run one at a time on the keyboard to see which is the X, which is the Y, and which is the A. So it's not a big deal. It's just something that if we would have marked them first, we wouldn't have had that problem. By the way, this is the first install that I've done on this table. I just wanted to see how long it was going to take. It took us about 4.5 hours. So FYI. So thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed it.